Now that we've learned a little bit about our black and white conversion workflow, let's go ahead and extend this and make this image even better. Well, here what I'm going to do is create yet another virtual copy. And I'll do so by pressing Command apostrophe on a Mac, Control apostrophe on a PC. With this image, what I've decided I want to do is in the black and white panel, click on the target adjustment tool, and I'll go ahead and I want to darken the hills a little bit over there and then brighten the grass just a touch. I want to have a little bit different amount of contrast back there because it was a little bit too heavy. Yet one of the things that I've lost, which I'm a little bit upset about, is say the brightness of the road. I want to brighten that back up. Well, how can I do that? What we're going to do is press the K key to open up the adjustment brush. What we can do with the adjustment brush is increase our overall exposure here, and I'll go ahead and increase the exposure. As far as a brush size, we want a pretty big brush size, lots of feathering, and flow. We want a relatively high flow amount, and we're going to turn auto mask on. What we can do with this is make sure that the crosshairs are just covering the path there, and I can go ahead and click and paint back and forth, and here you can see that I'm brightening up this path. So I'll go ahead and make my way back and forth as I'm doing that. Now, one of the things that I want to point out is that when you're using auto mask, sometimes what can happen is the edges can be a little bit jagged. If you ever find that happens, we'll just turn auto mask off and then go ahead and let's decrease our brush size and then just work out those edges a little bit so I can soften up the edges without auto mask turned on in order to make the transition a little bit softer there. So again, in this particular tool, sometimes using auto mask works well. Sometimes it works well in combination without auto mask, especially in situations where it's not a super exact area. All right, well, let's take a look at our before and after. Here's before and then after with that new added path. All right, well, once we've done that, let's close the tool by pressing the K key. Next, I want to navigate to my basic panel. And in the basic panel, we have a number of really good controls like clarity. We can add just a little bit of mid-tone contrast there. We can add some overall contrast, perhaps a little bit of fill light as well, and then control our blacks. So here we have yet another and different conversion. Let's look at our overall before and after. Well, here's the original image as it was created, the virtual copy. Here's the before, and then there's the after. We can also compare this with our other black and white conversions. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, we're experimenting, and then finally Step 4, where we've arrived at a place where this image now looks really good. And the whole point here is just to get you to begin to think about how really good black and white conversions start off in the black and white panel, but then it's about combining all of the different strengths of Lightroom together in order to come up with the ultimate and the best black and white conversions.